Welcome back. If you're ready to dig in and figure out the 5 steps you need to know to get started as a social worker making extra income doing CEU facilitation, you are in the right place. As always, we have the hottest new videos when it comes to making extra side hustle money. Please hit the subscribe button below and the little bell to let you know when we have a new video dropping. Again, my name is Tiffany Tait of Unorthodox Group. I am a licensed clinical social worker, certified daring weight facilitator, and all of that to say I'm an entrepreneur who myself and my business partner built a pretty handsome portfolio financially, and we did that without any startup capital by starting with these side hustles. So let's dig right on in and talk about the next side hustle of the week, being a CEU facilitator. So what does it look like to be a CEU facilitator? Essentially, anybody who's licensed within a field, whether it be a doctor, a nurse, and for us as a social worker, there's different levels of credentialing depending on your state, but there's usually attached to the credentialing board and the licensing board some certain number of hours of continuing education units or credits, a CEU, that you need to complete and be in compliance with in order to continue to renew your license year after year. So a CEU facilitator essentially is just the teacher or the facilitator of that continuing education credit that helps the individual to stay licensed and stay in compliance with their regulatory board in their state. So, step 2, what does it look like to be a CEU facilitator? It looks like a teacher, very much like that, or if you've ever led a meeting or a training at a job, you are simply putting together initially just a list of your topic that you are going to discuss, as well as the objectives that an individual will learn from this. You're then taking that information and submitting it to the licensing board, which we'll talk about in a little bit, or the credentialing board for that CEU in your state, and attempting to get that approved as a CEU that individuals can use for their licensing and continuing education credits. So you're essentially putting together kind of an outline of what you're going to provide ahead of time, not the full CEU. That's not what you're submitting to the board. You're submitting the outline and the objectives to make them determine, is this something that's applicable? Does the person have the right credentials to provide this service? And should they be able to charge and facilitate this service in the general public? So step 3, research. So this comes in 2 parts, right? We're discussing number 1, researching what other CEUs look like, so you know how to present that. There are a number of different ways to present CEUs. This can be done online via hard textbooks and a turn-in test that you could be facilitating. This could be done in person in a presentation environment. And you need to research kind of what you would like to talk about and the best way to facilitate that. You're also researching what is out there currently and what you need to be providing in what setting, right? So what places are looking for a CEU provider, and how do you get credentialed? Every state has a number of different boards. I'll give you Florida as an example. You can get licensed through ASWB, which is National for Social Workers, and have your CEU approved nationally. You could do it through the Florida Department of Health, through the Florida Certification Board for Drug and Alcohol. So depending on what board you go through, that is where your continuing educations would be certified through, and individuals who are licensed or certified through that agency could utilize your services to get towards their hours. So you need to be researching what your topic is that you want to provide and that you're the expert in, and which agency you want to go and register that with to continue to provide CEUs ongoing. And you can register at multiple agencies. Step 4, get in there. Once you've determined your topic and figured out what you want to talk about and you're the expert in, write out your outline of exactly the objectives that you will provide, how you're going to facilitate this, and start submitting these to the boards in your area. Do not overthink it. Google whatever the CEU boards are for the license that you currently have. That is the place to start. As soon as you start applying, you'll start hearing back. It takes a few weeks normally. This is a long process, but not a difficult process. It's just time consuming, kind of like getting your license is time consuming. But this then, once you're approved, you can do whatever you would like with that, right? And we're going to talk about that in the next section, talking about how to get paid. Step 5. Getting paid as a CEU provider. So this is it has endless possibilities, right? You now, once you've gotten approved, can go online and sell this course, or you can provide this course directly to organizations. You can sell it yourself. You can do it leasing out. There's a lot of mental health organizations that will pay you to come and present your CEU to a group of individuals they may have. A lot of organizations will privately pay you to come in and provide the CEUs to keep their staff in compliance with the regulatory boards. You have a number of options of how to get paid for a CEU, but this can completely range from you providing subscription services that maybe people pay $100 a year and they have a list of CEUs that they go through, or maybe you're providing a CEU at a conference and they're showing up for a one-day conference. To give you an example, Lily and I usually charge to show our face for doing a conference about $1,000 for that day. We do not collect the CEUs though, right? The organization of the conference charges and gets the CEUs for you and controls all that. They just pay us as certified CEU providers or approved CEU providers. So you can make money in a number of different ways and you can mix and match it, right? You can provide this exact same CEU on an online format for one price and at a presentation or a conference for another price. Once you get approved by the board and it's approved in that particular setting, you can do it however you like and charge whatever you like. That's your final tip. As always, we have the hottest videos for making extra money and side hustle money as a helping professional. Hit the subscribe button below, and we hope to see you next week. Have a blessed week.